the future will catch us by surprise, unless we think about what it is that we need to do today in order to own the future tomorrow. My name is Buhle Dlamini, and I've been speaking to audiences from around the world since 1999, in places like Germany, USA, UK, Australia, as well as Canada and my homeland, South Africa. What I bring is my passion for activating organizational as well as people's potential, my understanding of the next generation of talent, as well as my experience as an entrepreneur and an author. And I blend that all together in the power of the spoken word and multimedia presentations that are guaranteed to leave a lasting impression for my audiences.
Yeah. Well, let me start by asking a question. How many of us like change? I'm not talking about change in your pocket. I know we all like that kind of change. But I'm talking about change. Do you agree with me that there's been more change in the last few years than there's been in the last 1,000 years? The change is happening so rapidly that sometimes we do not know how to deal with this. Well, I hope that's not how you deal with change. But as we think about change, I'm sure you agree with me that we spend most of our time at work, 80% and sometimes more if you're a little bit cuckoo. But for most of us, you know, we spend more time at work than we do with our neighbors. As a matter of fact, most of us know more about the people we work with than people we live next to. I mean, if your neighbor, especially if you live in Johannesburg, if your neighbor starts to look over the fence, some of us will call the cops, you know, he's checking me out. But the reality is that we spend most of our time in the workplace. And the way that we look at work is totally different. And we spoke a little bit about generations. My friend Graham Codrington wrote a book called Mind the Gap, which helps us to understand why we don't understand different generations. And when we look at the workplace, the way that different generations look at work is now for these kids, one of the first questions that comes to your mind when you meet one of these kids is, how old are you really? Isn't it? I mean, they seem to be growing much faster than any generation before. A conversation between a grandfather and a grandchild used to go something like this. Come here, my child, let me show you how the world works. Today, the conversation goes like this. Come here, my child, show me how this thing works. Because who shows you how to use a new cell phone you've just bought? It's a 10-year-olds, isn't it? This goes on. Look at these generations. Yes, the way that our attitudes towards work are different. But no matter who we are, no matter what generation we come from, all of us are looking for balance in terms of a workplace, isn't it? We want to find that balance where we know that we are sent. And there's yet another concept that I want to share with you. This concept of a hectic work life, where it seems like a hectic work life has become like a badge of honor. I mean, I spend a lot of time listening to people. When you come out of the lift in the workplace, you will hear people talking about their hectic work lives. They say, oh, you don't know what I have to do. Oh, yesterday I had to wake up at 4 in the morning, and I had to work the whole day. And I didn't go to bed until 4 this morning. I had to get up at 4 again. And now you're wondering, when did they sleep? But, you know, you listen to people talk about their hectic work life so much that you start to feel that maybe if my life is not hectic like that, maybe something is wrong with me. Isn't that so? Now, there are 3 things that I've shared this afternoon in a very big rush. And they are, in order to find balance in the workplace, you need to do 3 things. Not work hard, but how to achieve more with less, how to work with passion, and finally, how to work with focus. This is possible. The choice is up to you. You can change your life. You can find balance in the workplace, but you've got to decide what is it that you're going to focus on. Remember, 80-20. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
I strongly believe that the use of my own story, humor, and educational elements makes my presentation stand out and really connect with my audience, not only at an intellectual level, but also at an emotional as well as personal level. This is what I hope to bring every time I get onto that stage, not only to bring a business message, but also to motivate and inspire. And I'm looking forward to an opportunity to speak to you and your group